Welcome back to the third part of the Goodbye PlayStation 3 Sunday special. Now we've gotten into the top 10 best exclusive games. We've gotten into the top 10 best multi-platform games for the PlayStation 3. You can see the links here below. Now we have the top 10 worst games for the PlayStation 3, both exclusives and multi-platform combined. I do have to mention though is that when I sold a lot of my games, most of those games are games I thought were absolutely monkey ass shit. They were bad games and I didn't want to have them in my collection, so I sold them. So there are only a couple of games I really see as bad games. So a lot of those games are not particularly bad games, but they are just unimpressive or they disappoint me a lot. And number 10 is one of the biggest disappointments I had this generation. That is Dead Space 3. Dead Space 1 was amazing. I loved it. Dead Space 2 was a good game. Maybe not better, but it was a really good game. It was bigger, it was better, it was a good game. Dead Space 3, they tried to make is a co-op game. They are going the way of Resident Evil bullshit 6. And you know what? Resident Evil 6 isn't actually a really bad game. It's actually a pretty decent game. I didn't like it. This game isn't particularly a bad game, but I was just so unimpressed, so disappointed. I don't want to spend 2 hours making stupid little freakingly guns. I don't give a shit. I just want to have a cool setting, an amazing story, a creepy atmosphere, and I want to just have weapons they created and upgrade them just like they did in Uncharted. So in Dead Space 1 and 2. No, now all of a sudden you have to scavenge for parts and create your own weapons. It sucked. Also the storyline, I didn't really get anything out of the storyline, and I still played it for like 8 or 9 hours. The only thing I know is this guy crying all the freaking time. I don't want to go there. I don't want to do this. I am no hero. It's annoying. Freakingly annoying. This was such a disappointment. Holy shit. I am so happy I didn't buy it at launch. That I actually looked at some reviews and seeing that people didn't really like it. And number 9 is another disappointment. The oh so great SOCOM series. And what does Zipper Interactive do? Took the next SOCOM game, SOCOM Confrontation, and make six length games, I think, create the game. They sucked. The game was buggy. The game had frame rate issues. It had a lot of glitches, but they patched a lot of it, making SOCOM Confrontation actually a pretty decent SOCOM game. Then Zipper Interactive themselves announced we are going to create SOCOM 4 or SOCOM Special Forces. I was hyped. I was like, yes, the kings of shooters, of third-person team-based shooters, online shooters. The SOCOM I played so much on the PlayStation 2, so much, are back. And what the fuck did they do? You only had machine weapons, only machine guns and Uzis. You didn't have pistols anymore. You didn't have this really cool and detailed customization anymore. All of a sudden the battles, the normal battles, had respawn. What? Even though you still had this classical SOCOM experience, it still felt short because you didn't have a lot of weapons you did have in the other SOCOM games. Even in SOCOM Confrontation you had those games. This was such a disappointment. They were trying to cater to the casual Call of Duty bullcrap audience and they failed miserable. But that being said though, it's not a bad game. I did enjoy the single player a bit. I did enjoy the multiplayer a bit. When I finally got out of my rage of they fucked up SOCOM and I just saw it as a shooter, it was a pretty decent game. I did like the game. The cover system was pretty good. The shooting was pretty good. I still did like the game a bit. But pretty much because of this game, And Unit 13 is actually a really good game. Yes, also developed by Zipper Interactive. Zipper Interactive has been shut down. It's freakingly annoying because SOCOM was one of my most favorite online shooters ever for the PlayStation 2 and they fucked up Special Forces or SOCOM 4. Number 8, we have a game that was even on my top 10 list of best Sony or best PlayStation 3 games, exclusive games. And the third one, MotorStorm Apocalypse, went on even further, different. Now it's an urban style where this is apocalypse destroying this entire city. Sure, the first couple of races were pretty damn cool, where you race and you saw this the city falling down, this and that. But because of those things, maybe it's just me, but I couldn't really find the way where you have to drive a lot of times. A lot of times I thought, hey, I can go there, and you couldn't go there. You just fall down. Or you were driving on a building that was falling down, and if you wasn't fast enough, you would go, fall down. I know because you were not fast enough, but sometimes your vehicle just can't get fast enough, or someone else is pushing you out of the playfield. You have to start over again, but then you are too late and you die again. It's annoying. So after a couple of times, after a couple of hours, I was like, I really don't like this game. And I loved MotorStorm Pacific Rift so much. It's such a disappointment. I just don't like the urban style in MotorStorm Apocalypse. Doesn't make it a bad game, because maybe you don't have the same issues as I have, but for me it was a disappointment. And number 7 was a Japanese RPG called Hyperdimension Neptunia, and I remember they announced it and I was like, this game's never gonna come out of Japan, and holy shit, it did. I was happy, I was thrilled, I was hyped. I was like, holy shit, this game looks amazing. I love the cover art. I love the characters they're building in, and they're like Compile Hearts, Nippon Ichi, and all those smaller developers were building one game. At the end, this was a really shallow, hard to master. I mean, the battle system was way too complicated for its own good. The graphics, sure, the character himself looked pretty good, but the environments looked like shit. You didn't even have healing potions. I just didn't get how the system worked. It was annoying. I hated it. It was again a disappointment. But I've been hearing that the other Hyperdimension games are better, and I do have them in my collection. On number 6, we have a fighting franchise that actually had a really rough run for me, because I've had the 3D version and I kind of bashed it as a Dead or Alive clone. Then all of a sudden I researched more about it, knowing that this game was way beyond Dead or Alive 2 that has been on Nintendo and Sega systems, and now then the King of Fighters 12 came out. And at that time I had the Orochi Saga, and I really liked the King of Fighters 2D games. I also like the 3D games. And this is just a step down. Less characters, less combos. Online sucked. You don't even have a lot of modes. No storyline pretty much. Graphically it looked like a PlayStation 2 game. Guilty Gear on a PlayStation 2 looks better than this game. This was a disappointment, but I still had some fun with it. On number 5 we have Brink. This is a shooter, a team-based shooter that has a little bit of cel-shaded type of graphics, and really more like an animated type, like a Pixar movie type of graphics. And the thing was with this game is that they were hyping it like this is the new shit, this game is amazing and this and that, and all of a sudden this game was shallow as hell. I enjoyed the couple of hours it spent me to complete all 2 campaigns, but in the end it was just a shallow, typical shooter that had bad IA, stupid little graphics, but the shooting itself was decent, and the storyline actually was interesting, but it wasn't really fleshed out. So that's a shame. This could have been such a good game, but they fucked it up. On number 4 we have BlackSite. This is a port of a 360 game, one of the worst reviewed game on the 360, and by far they are right. This game sucks. I love Alien vs Earth type of movies and games, and this is what this is. So I went into like, hey, alien invasion, pretty cool. It is glitchy. It has frame rate issues. The weapons sometimes don't even fire. The sound of the weapons are like crap. Seriously, animations are like crap. After an hour I was like, holy shit, this game sucks monkey balls. On number 3 we have Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City. I went into this knowing this game would have been bad, because a lot of people were complaining about that this game was really bad, that it felt like a shooter, just a normal team-based shooter, a co-op team-based shooter, instead of this horror survival Resident Evil type of game that Resident Evil 6 pretty much a little bit is. This game, it's not really a bad game, but everything this game tries to be and tries to do good, they do it bad. So this is more like a mediocre game, but it was such a disappointment because it has the Resident Evil name on it. And that being a shooter, just your typical normal Gears of War SOCOM style shooter, sucks monkey ass. On number 2 we have Last Rebellion. Keep in mind though, I didn't play it that much, that's because the game sucked. The storyline was interesting. Graphically it kind of sucked. It came out really early in the days. It's made by, what is it, Hitmaker and Nippon Ichi America. I bet it's published by Nippon Ichi and developed by Hitmaker. Doesn't really matter though. Graphically it sucked. The character animations were pretty good, but I remember this battle system being so complex. Battles took so freakingly long that I was like, this game sucks. It could have been so much easier. The game could have been a bit better if you just have normal styled Japanese RPG turn-based battle system, but no, they were trying to do something different because a lot of people were crying about it like, Final Fantasy battle system, it's not good anymore. Fuck you bitches, you destroyed all these games. They were trying different things, different battle systems, it sucked. Monkey ass. I just want your normal, typical turn-based battle system that is 10 times better than all the crap they made. Number 1 is a launch game for the PlayStation 3. It was hyped like hell because yes, graphically it's an amazing looking title. It's an epic looking title. Definitely the first mission, the first battle was epic. And of course I'm talking about Lair. It's the developers, what is it? Developers are Factor 5 or was it Factory 5? And they created the Star Wars shooting games on the GameCube that were amazing. Even I played it and they were amazing. This game sucked monkey ass. Sucked monkey ass. Because of the graphics? No. It actually has pretty decent graphics. It was an epic, I mean, you have some really giant epic battle, Lord of the Rings styled epic battles. Why did it suck? The controls. The 6-axis motion bullshit they implanted at the beginning of the generation destroyed this entire game. Later on they did make out a patch to just have normal controls, but at that time the controls are still bad. The game was also glitchy. Sometimes the game was even unfair. They definitely in the dark levels you didn't really know where you were going. You didn't really know what you've done wrong. Sometimes the light didn't even see you and the enemies were coming after you and you just didn't have a chance. It's annoying. I did try to play the game a couple of times. I went on to level 6 or 7. I don't know, after the really giant sea boss, but the thing I remembered about this game is that it looked beautiful but sucked monkey ass. I've played the first mission a lot of times only because it looked so epically amazing, and it's such a disappointment after such a really cool beginning that the other type of missions sucked. Monkey ass. Really, it sucked. So I hope you enjoyed the top 10 worst games or the least favorite games of my collection. Leave in the comments below what are your top 10, top 5, top 3 games you didn't really like. And like always, I will see you next time, and I hope you enjoyed this Sunday special with the goodbye of the PlayStation 3. Oh, PlayStation, I love you so much. Why are you watching? It's a private moment.